Hey brother, Stuart Matola, men's relationship coach here. Hope you're having a great day. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the loaded dynamic in a sexual relationship that you're not even aware of. So maybe you're experiencing a sexless marriage or just a lack of equality and desire between you and your wife or your partner, or you're having a situation where you want it and you're rejected all the time and you can't even bring it up. So if those things are going on, hang out. I'm going to give you a tool in this video that's going to help you out with that. And up front, if your wife or partner is dealing with dryness, physical issues that are clearly related to hormonal challenges and medical issues, you might get some value out of this, but you need to turn to a doctor for that, most likely. So just want to be clear about that. So, I want to steal an idea from the playbook of, you might have heard him. He wrote, "Be Here Now." It was all the rage. I think it was back in the 70s, Ram Dass. Okay. He was a Westerner who lived in India for many, many years. And typically I'm not a big fan of these guru types and whatnot, but this guy's pretty, dare I say, effing real. And he talked about something about relationships, and I'm going to apply this to sexuality and sexual dynamics, how we use a relationship as a mechanism to get something else. Okay. So I know in my case, I'd use relationship for, to live a hopeful, meaningful, and, connected life, loved life, to know that I'm loved. And these days I'm working on separating the mechanism of relationship versus just going directly to the meaningful, loveful, hopeful life that I'm seeking to create. Where do I put those expectations on top of a relationship, and where are they just mine to just create in my life? And one of the things that brings me great hope is being out here in nature. And that's why I create these videos out in nature, because this is where I get inspired. So when it comes to sex, that's the mechanism to what? Is that the mechanism to your self-acceptance, to your validation, to your knowing that you're loved, to your knowing that you're valued, to knowing that you're appreciated? Of course, for a lot of guys, it's just the physical act of the release. That's another thing. How do you live your life in such a stressful way where you're stuck in a self-script that you have so much stress that you need that kind of release? Okay, where do you have release built into your life? What other mechanisms can you use towards release? Okay, but let's go back to the other, let's call them ends or objectives that men are seeking through the mechanism of sex. So they project all this stuff on there that if I'm not having sex with my partner, I don't feel loved, I don't feel accepted, I don't feel trusted, I don't feel appreciated. Okay, now these are all real things, and I'm trying to break this down and give you a way of understanding these unconscious dynamics so that you can reclaim them for yourself and not just heap them on top of the sexual dynamic between your partner. Because when you're not getting it, it makes it that much worse. And I'm not asking you to shut down your cock or your sexuality, but just to become aware how you lay a bunch of stuff on top of that. And that way, when the relationship is going through the natural cycles of spark and not so much spark, and sexuality and not so much sexuality, instead of thinking something's wrong, notice, where do I find self-acceptance? Where do I find self-validation? How do I validate myself? How do I love myself? I don't want to get too new agey on you, but these are critical things. One of the ways I love myself is I come out into nature. I play music. I meditate. I do yoga. I do things that feed me. Now, a lot of times as busy dads, or just even busy people in this life today, because, we're all running little corporate empires in our lives and our schedules, is to notice if you're stuck in a never enough cycle. Okay, never getting enough done, never achieving enough, never making enough money. That is the opposite of loving yourself. Okay, that's beating the shit out of yourself. Okay, so I often like to say feeding versus depleting. Notice what feeds you, notice what depletes you. So a lot of the way that you live, okay, will give you a clear indicator as to whether or not you're leading a life in which you're feeding yourself. And if you're not, you're going to think your wife or partner has to feed you through sex. She's going to feel that energetically, and your rejection is going to be 10 times worse. And you're going to be putting on top of the sexual dynamic a whole bunch of unconscious stuff that you can reclaim yourself so that you can be back in power. Not so much to have a dynamic where, you're trying to strip your sexuality, but you're refining it. You're really noticing, what is this really about? And why does this hurt so much? How can I make it hurt less? And how can I clear out all that projected gunk that I put on top of sex with my partner so it's more clean, and so that's more attractive, so it's more sexy, so I feel more excited, and I'm not just feeling like I'm screwed. No pun intended there, brother. So this is just a tip of the iceberg. In a short little video like this, I give you a few tips to dive deeper below the surface and understand how to turn around your sex life or your relationship. Please check out links to my work below. Thanks so much for watching, brother. I hope this was helpful, and have a kick-ass day. Bye.